Oh boy, I just crossed the Commodore Barry Bridge, and you have to get a special permit from DAPS, which is Delaware Port Authority, whatever, no, DRPA, Delaware River Port Authority, because once you're over 80,000 pounds, that's what they want. They wanted to go online and register a username and password, and then you apply for this. You apply for the permit, kind of like what I do on the Peace Bridge in Canada. But here you don't have to pay. If you're going south from PA to New Jersey, it's free. But you need to, once you're at the bridge, and they have a special pull-out over there, kind of like where I was sitting right now. Right before the bridge, they have a little pull-out, and it says no parking except for oversized vehicle waiting for police escort. And I stopped there, and you have to call a police line, and they send the car over. And I prepared my camera. I wanted to record, you know, how I'm crossing the bridge, because it's a pretty big bridge. And then all of a sudden I hear burp burp, you know, like this loud whining of a police siren. I thought the guy would come over, you know, check my permit, because they said must have New Jersey and PA permit in possession when at the bridge. But this guy just stops in the middle of the road, and he like burp burp, you know, kind of like, let's go, let's go. And I open the door, and he's like, you know, 20 meters away, doesn't want to even come close. And I show him, what, like, are we going? And he's like, yeah, go, go. And he's like, with 2 hands, go. I guess they do it every day, you know, they're tired. But, you know, they don't give you instructions, right? Like, how am I supposed to know? Then I start driving, he starts shooting at my tires. Why did you start driving? I'm supposed to check your permit. Like, no matter what you do, you're an idiot, you know, in the eyes of the police. So I just went in the middle. There's only 2 lanes with no shoulders over there, and I'm not exactly wide, but the guy is blocking the lane, so I went in the middle and I just crossed the bridge, and the speed limit is 45. So now we're just looking for 295. Should be somewhere here. And I started driving real early, you know, to beat all these curfews. I spent the night in Duncannon because I couldn't see a truck stop further down. Okay, 295 north. I think that's where we're going. But then actually I started driving this morning, and I saw a place to park just east of Lancaster. And I saw it actually on Trucker Path. There's a truck stop, kind of like Speedco or something, and then people in reviews were saying that overnight parking is not free. You know, you have to pay $12 for the night parking. Screw that, I'm not paying 12 bucks. But then right across the street from that crazy truck stop, there's a diner, and it was marked on the Trucker Path. It says P, parking. But you know, so some of these, they also charge you money, or sometimes they give you free parking if you buy food. So I was not sure, so I said screw this. So I stayed in Duncannon, even though I was there like at 2 o'clock. But from Duncannon to my consignee in Mount Ephraim, New Jersey, it's only 130 miles. And so I stayed there, left real early, and they sent me on I-81 North, I-83 South, and then I-283, I think, right? East. Yeah, and then it becomes 283. And then it joins with US 30. And I followed US 30 East till I reached 202. And then I took 202 East or North towards I-76. And then I went east or south on I-76 till I reached I-476. It's like a big loop, you know. And then I took I-476 south to I-95 south. And then towards the Commodore Barry Bridge, which is US 322. And so I crossed the Delaware River on US 322. And there's a little connector over there. What is that? 130. And now I'm on 295. And this pretty much takes me all the way to my destination. But it's a good thing that, you know, this load, nobody's in a rush. I called the broker yesterday. I said, hey, I don't see any truck stops over there. Is it okay if I stay in Duncannon? I said, and then I'm gonna deliver probably around 11 o'clock. And she said, yeah, that's fine. And so the plan for today is to deliver in Mount Ephraim. I was told that's how they pronounce it. EPH, what is it? RAIM. And then after that, I'm gonna drive 10 miles to Hale Trailer. And pick up my flip axle. And then tomorrow, Friday, I'm loading in Newark. Some kind of a ugly steel tank that goes back to Canada. I thought that they said that lane was ending. What the heck? Oh, check this out. There's a TA here. As soon as you change lanes, something happens that tells you that you should have stayed in there. This guy was sitting on the shoulder and I didn't see him because there was a curve, and he decided to jump in right in front of me. And now I cannot go back. And he's driving 50 miles an hour. Must be a former race car driver. and we are unloading. And I'm gonna flip the axle after this. And this is the yard. See, they have a bunch of these machines. That's how you do it. Well, the axle is here, but it's raining cats and dogs. I cannot film outside, but hopefully by the time I reach the petrol truck stop in Bordentown, it should be, maybe it will stop raining. I don't know. I have to go north, so this is Hale trailer. Mark came out, we chatted for a bit, and then forklift guy loaded the axle on the back there on some skids, and I tied down using the straps that my freight broker provided for the next load, because I'll have to reposition it. And so now it's, I thought they would do some, maybe they'll help with alignment and stuff, but of course they're busy, you know, it never works. You cannot just show up at the shop and say, hey, can you guys do this? Because I asked Mark before, but he says he asked the shop didn't get back to him, so you know. And I just, when I went inside to pay the bill, because again this axle was sold as is, so you know, no warranties, nothing, so it's my responsibility to make sure it's in good shape. But I saw the picture. I'll just come out, yeah, maybe when it's, yeah, you see, it's still raining, you know, all day today. But yeah, the bill came to almost $900 after tax, but I got brand new airbags and brand new shocks, and I asked them if they checked. They said they check electric lines, everything is good, lights are working. They checked brake, they adjusted the brakes, and I asked them about the bearings. Like, people keep telling me, oh man, the bearings will be shot, this thing has been sitting for 20 years outside. And I asked him about this, and he says, hey, this thing doesn't have, oh, and they checked seals, they checked axle seals, the shop says everything is good, nothing is rotted, but the airbags are rotted out or rotted away, you know. But the thing with this is that it has the same axle centers like my trailer. There's no liquid grease, you don't have that little window, it's packed grease, okay, which is cool. So that means that I think that, yeah, they said they checked it, there's lots of grease in there, so the bearings cannot just disappear or break, because again, this is packed grease. It's same as my axles, right? So oh, and the guy came out, I asked him, yeah, they didn't have time to do any work, right? I said, can you just at least take a look at the neck? I mean, I said, I got stuck once with that heavy excavator. I got stuck at the, well, not stuck, but I had to stop and raise the trailer at a railroad crossing. I said, maybe I damaged something. Can you just take a look? Like, is there any way, you know, can you just see if maybe if it's not the neck, then it's just alignment, right? So even though I did it like 4 months ago, but maybe I hit like a pothole or something, you know, I haul super heavy loads, right? And one nice guy came out and he looked and he says, yeah, I don't see any damage, nothing is broken.
kilometers, turn right onto New Jersey 73 North.
And I asked him, I said, but why is it, you see, I said, on one side I have this much space, like inside there where it sits on that shaft. Over here I have, on one side I have a bigger distance and slightly less on this side, and he says that shouldn't matter.
Take the next right onto New Jersey 73 North.
So basically, yeah, I guess that's good and bad. Good, that means that I'm not facing any expensive repairs. It's probably just alignment, you know.
Continue on New Jersey 73 North, 12 kilometers.
Yeah, so this is 73. And I need to take it north towards 295. Because I'm loading, I thought I was loading in Baltimore, turns out I'm loading in Newark, which is 90 miles north. And I talked to my broker, he seems pretty relaxed about, you know, the time frame. He says when you want to deliver it's delivering in Guelph, Ontario, like 10 miles away from my base. And I told him, I said, he says, can you do it, he says, I'm not sure about Monday, because he says, can we do it for Tuesday? And I said, hey, Tuesday is fine, except I said, I want to do alignment because I know a good shop, you know, the guys that did this last time. I'll just ask him to check alignment again. And last time I went there with a booster, right? So it was super difficult to back in, but now I just have 3 axles at the bottom. Oh, and maybe I'll ask him to align this new flip axle. Right, because I'm telling you, tires look brand new. This thing, I don't think it ever touched the ground. I see some scratches on, it looks like it was hooked up to a trailer, because I see paint scratches at the eyes, you know, those big loops, like holes where the bolts go. But the tires are brand new, the wheels, steel wheels, but you know, I wanted to get aluminum rims, but these guys don't have cheap ones. They only have these fancy Alcoas, Aluminum Corporation of America, and you know, it's 4 tires, so 4 rims, that's like $1,000 US. I don't want those. I'm gonna find them in Canada at probably, I can find them, I don't know, 250 Canadian per wheel. So that's $1,000, but it's Canadian $1,000, so that's like 800 US. Or maybe I'll just keep it like that with steel rims, you know. It would look really weird. So now imagine, I tried them on the ground, because I knew that, you know, over here everything it's tight, right? It's New Jersey. So when I finished unloading, I asked the guys over there at the consignee, I said, can you please, 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 pretty please, flip my axle? And they said, no problemo. I thought I would have trouble with the pins, but I drained the air from the last axle. It was very slow. Again, remember they Aberfoyle shop in Canada, they changed that valve but the little part where the air is coming out, I think that one is corroded because you can hardly, you know, I put my hand under there and I can hardly feel any air pressure. Like there should be air coming out of there. So it's very slow. And so before we started unloading, I opened that one. I opened the valve because I knew it would take like 20 minutes to drain the air. By the time we were finished, you know, the airbags were pretty much empty. And I raised axle 3, made sure the trailer was pretty high, and that released the pressure on all the pins, and I was able to, well, the bottom ones, right? So I took out the bottom pins, and the guy came out with a little backhoe and he hooked it up, and I put a chain in through the D-rings. So that was 3 down, 1 on the top. So, and now I have another one sitting on the skid. So I have a bunch of axles. Well, the more the merrier, you know. So heavy haul rule number 356: you can never have enough axles. And you know rule 59, right? Because it's on my email, like, you know, where my signature is. Whenever I send an email to people, there's my signature, Sergei Dratchev, 60-ton transport, Canada, USA, my phone number, my email address, and then at the bottom it says in italics, heavy haul rule number 59: the paperwork for a heavy haul run always takes longer than the run itself. So that's my own quote, and it's true. You know, you'll be delivering, and the consignee would say, "What is this? We didn't expect you until next week." You know, like, yeah, that's another rule. So they're always surprised to see you. The broker always demands updates, right? They will punish you. Like some rate confirmations I saw, they say we can charge you up to $50 for each missed check-in call or email. So I'm supposed to update them every day. Actually, one crazy company was twice a day. You have to call them actually in the morning and then after lunch. And I said, guys, come on, who's using phones nowadays? Can I email you? Because that's how I usually, you know, in the morning I send an email. Hey, status update from Sergei, current location, let's say Duncannon, PA, leaving the truck stop shortly, ETA to consignee, so and so, right? That's what they want. But turns out these brokers, quite often they fail to forward this priceless information that I use my, you know, rigid fingers to type. Fingers rigid because after all this chains and binders, right? After all this heavy work, so fingers are like sausages. So you type, you know, only what's necessary, right? You don't want to do too much typing on the phone. And so they fail to forward this to the consignee. They just keep it for themselves, and they keep it for their customer. And quite often their customer, it's not the consignee, it's like a freight forwarder or another broker, right? And as long as that company is happy, the broker is happy. And so they don't tell anything to the consignee. I'm telling you, happen every time. Or I call them and I say, hey, this is Sergei, I'm a Canadian trucker. I'm bringing, let's say this time, I'm bringing a drill rig. And the guy says, oh yeah? Okay. He had no idea that I was coming. Yeah, this morning I called them just to ask for directions. I said, it's a bit confusing here. I said, I'm looking at my permit and something is not right over here, because they want me to take New Jersey 130 and go for 28 miles. And I said, if I go 28 miles on 130, I'll be back in Pennsylvania. And then they want me to go south on this highway 168, where the customer was, where the delivery was taking place. And the guy says, I'm not sure where they want me to go. And he says, usually guys come like this. And so anyway, he helped me with the directions, but it was super tight over there. I said, guys, how do I turn around? And he says, well, there's at the end of the road, there's a dead end, and it's some kind of a little factory over there. They have a yard. And I said, can I go in there and turn around? And he says, yeah, we do it all the time. And I said, they're not gonna mind, right? They're not gonna tell me that I'm crazy. And he says, no, you can go. And I go there, I stop, there's a scale in the front because I guess they load their own dump trucks. But that place is so tight, you know. That place is so tight. I had to do like 3-4 times, you know, back and forth before I could get out. And the guy in the scale house says, well, just don't hit anything. You can go, Jesus, just don't hit anything. I said, I'll be careful. And yeah, and I'm really glad that I flipped the rear axle, because yeah, with 4 axles it's a nightmare on these tight streets, you know. And I have big plans for this axle. I'm gonna hook it up to my spreader bar, I think. No, wait, I have 3. Yeah, the last one, I have 3 axles now on the ground, right? So the last one is also intermediate axle. Like the only final axle I have, the one that has just 1 pair of eyes, that final axle is on the trailer. So that one is no good, right? So I want to have 1 intermediate axle on the booster, like basically hooked up to that frame, to the spreader, you know. And then, yeah, so this way I can take that flip axle and leave it in the yard. So if I need 3+1 with the booster, I just take the single axle booster, hook up to my trailer, right? If I need 3+2, I hook up the final axle to the booster and go like this. And if I need 4 axles, I take the final axle. So basically, yeah, I won't have to do as much shuffling as I used to do now, because I will have my single axle booster will always be connected. Like the spreader will have 1 axle on it all the time, right? And then the final axle will be sitting on the ground, ready to go. And those are very easy to connect. Of course, I still need some kind of a forklift or something. But you know, over here nobody is using 5 axles, so there's not a chance that I will need 5 in a row. No way. And because of that, well, I've been there, I think. Yeah, because I remember I was staying here, right, when they were doing something with the trailer. Yeah, where they were welding some parts inside the ramps there. And I left them the trailer and I went to the hotel for a couple of days, and I rented a car. Remember, I think I rented a Mercedes or something. And that was before COVID, and now I'm driving around and I recognize areas because, you know, I saw Starbucks. And I remember I would just program Starbucks, show me locations of Starbucks, and I would use that to kind of learn the area. And I would go grab coffee and I learn And so yeah, now I know it's nice area, you know. Of course, a lot of traffic, but so many shops, you know, like stores. Not a problem. If whatever you want to buy, very easy, you know. It's not like it's a country area. I kind of like this, you know, this Voorhees. And then my delivery was in Mount. I asked Mark from Fontaines because, you know, he's in this area. So how do you pronounce this name of this town? Mount, that's the first word. And the second word is E-P-H-R-A-I-M, like Ephraim. I would say, probably if it's like, you say it in Jewish, it'd probably be Ephraim or German. And I said, how do you say it? He says, Ephraim, Mount Ephraim. I said, cool. Okay, I said, I'm delivering my drill rig in Mount Ephraim. And Google Maps said I was just like 10 miles away from Hail Trailer, which the one the location where I got this actually was Cooper Road and 73. So this is 73 at Cooper Road. That's where the Hail Trailer is. And I see they have a bunch of these super expensive European trailers. And before they used to have just you know, lowboy trailers. Now I see they have a bunch of like flatbeds, extendable flatbeds. And as I was sitting in my truck, I was watching the yard guy. He was using his shunt truck. They were extending the flatbed. Gee, that thing was, I don't know, 100 meters, 300 feet. It was extendable. Flatbed. In the back it had like 4 axles, I think. Crazy. I forgot the name of this, but it's from Europe somewhere. They're totally different. Design is totally different. By the way, they have a couple of trailers like mine. You know, the same kind of deal, right? Like I got mine in 2018, and this was a 2016 model, right? So this thing was sitting in Alabama, right, for 2 years, waiting for Captain Sergei to wake up. So now Mark says they have a couple of similar trailers, but they're 2017. So they've been sitting here for like, I guess, 4 years now. And so they're ready to offer, you know, a deal of a lifetime. He says, hey Sergey, I'll send you the info. Maybe, you know, some of the guys that want to get into a 60-ton thing. I said, yeah, sure, send me the info. So if anybody wants a cheap Fontaine 60 tons, so let me know. I'll hook you up. А я еду за туманом. By the way, why I'm singing? You know, Russian men always sing when they're not hungry. And I went across the street from Hail Trailer, and there's a 7-Eleven, and it had a pretty good deli section, and I got 10 chicken wings, you know, like 5 hot spicy sauce and 5, I think they were breaded, but they look pretty good, so I had that's a lot of meat. 10 chicken wings. gonna end, like, I'm getting tired of the 73 with 1 million traffic lights. Where's the freeway? But it's very warm. I love it. It's plus 10 Celsius.
Continue straight to stay on New Jersey 73 North.
Which I know exactly what it is in Fahrenheit. It's 50 F. Very nice weather.
Continue on New Jersey 73 North for 1.5 kilometers.
And I don't actually mind the rain because, you know, it's warm rain. All right, I think now we have 3 lanes. Okay. And I like this one. Wawa. There's a town like that in northern Ontario, Wawa, Ontario. And of course, Wawa in the States, that's a chain of pretty good, pretty good gas stations. Okay, so this is Turnpike. Okay, so 295 should be the next junction. And so yeah, this Wawa, what I know is that they have a bunch of like coffee, you know, like they have, I don't know, 10, 15 types of coffee. And now more and more stations, gas stations, they have those beans to cup machines. I love those. See, like it's red. Boom. Dunkin' Donuts. Okay, he can go. So now I have to push my way into the right lane, and of course now all these people here behind me. See, I wanted to be in the curb lane, but then it ended all of a sudden, so I had to go back. But now there's like 2-mile line of cars in this lane, and I have to exit for 295, and then it's only 32 kilometers, 20 miles to Bordentown, New Jersey, where I'm gonna spend the night. Uh-oh, police. Something happened. Somebody somewhere stole a purse. Oh, and I remember this. When I came here to pick up my trailer or something, I remember I slept at this station. Honest to God. Because I was researching, I knew that I couldn't stop at the Walmart, and I just came here late. It was like 11 o'clock. I don't know why I was bobtailing here. For some reason I was bobtailing. I can't remember, but I remember this very steep hill, and I just came in here and I parked there near the sign, and I asked them if that's okay. They said yeah, and I slept there. But I know I was bobtailing. I didn't have a trailer, so. Oh, maybe I was there to.
Use the right lane to take the I-295 north ramp to Trenton. Use the right lane to take the I-295 north ramp.
No, what I didn't pick up my 60-ton here because 60-ton was sitting in Alabama. I'm positive. I went there and I remember they brought it out. Probably an accident somewhere. Oh, that's why, you see now it's what, 3:40? And I don't think there should be this much traffic at 3:40 p.m. Oh yeah, look at that. You see all the red? Everything is red. That's not good. Look at this. Cops are going all over the place. Uh-oh. Something behind me there. What is that? And that's the shoulder, right? Check out this guy. Oh, that's a cop as well. Okay. Sorry, but my bad. Because he didn't have any lights in the front, only in the back. All right, actually that guy is letting me in. Might as well. I thank him with my
Merge onto I-295 North.
with my rooftop flashing light. All right, so now we're gonna probably see something exciting, like dead bodies all over the highway. So I know you guys love this. See? Wow, look at this. Mount Laurel EMS. And another guy, like, look at, on the other side, another fire truck. Jeez, how many accidents are there? Look at this. Cops. Yeah, this is something serious. Wow. Another ambulance, EMS. Wow. I never saw so many emergency vehicles. I bet there's like more than one vehicle is involved in some kind of a collision. So it's probably like, I'm guessing, a semi-truck and a couple of cars. Maybe somebody died. But the typical weather like this, typical cause, driving too fast for conditions, right? All right, let's start. I never turn on.
Continue on I-295 North for 24 kilometers.
I'll never turn on the radio. I never turn on the radio unless there's an accident. So yeah, loading tomorrow. Like I said, it's a steel tank, 30 metric tons, 66,000 pounds, for storing radioactive garbage on the ground. And it's empty tank. And I'm gonna deliver that one, and then I'm going back Oh, I see the lights. I think my lane is blocked. And that fire truck is here. Remember the fire truck I saw on the other side? So 37.8, that's where the crash is. I see they're like oh, one lane is closed. Okay, not two. Check this out. State police, ambulances, unmarked cars, 2 fire trucks. Mount Laurel Ladder 3615. Okay. Oh wow, the guy's in the ditch over there. Yeah, not a very good day for somebody. From here should be easy sailing, so I'm 30 kilometers away from my truck stop. So what I gotta do is I still have to scan the bills of lading that the consignee signed for the drill rig, and I have to email it to the broker. That's my POD, proof of delivery. And then tomorrow morning I'm gonna send the same plus my invoice to my factoring company. So I should be paid tomorrow for this trip. See, in New Jersey they're using Chevrolet SUVs unmarked police cruisers. Set the cruise at 60 miles an hour. That's enough. And then today, see, like, it's not just driving, right? Especially when you don't have a dispatch. Like, I'm my own dispatch, so I have to do this POD, and then I have to prepare for the trip tomorrow, because it's that steel tank is gonna be 9 feet long. Oh wow, yeah, it's 9 feet 4 inches long, 6 feet 5 inches wide, and 5 feet 10 inches tall. So 9 by 6 by 5, that's it. And it's 65,000 pounds. And so even though it's not wide or anything, but it's heavy. So I need to get permits, right? And so that's one thing. I gotta spend probably half an hour ordering permits, like sending the application to my permit broker. And then also I have to check the border crossing. Well, it's still too early, but this time I will have two loads, right? One is the tank, and the other is my flip axle, because I have to clear it through customs, and I will have to pay the sales tax. So it's 10,500 US. So they're gonna convert that to Canadian funds, so probably gonna be 13,000, and I have to pay HST, which is 13%. So what is that? 130 bucks from 1,000 times 13. But then I get it back from the government. I'm gonna be reimbursed. So that's kind of like a duty you have to pay. So yeah, so the work, once you park your truck, when you are an independent operator, the work does not stop, you know? And that's why I make so much money, because I do the job of not just one guy, but many people, right? Driver, dispatcher, fleet manager, you know, president, sales guy, sales when you make contact with other people. And I got a flat tire. Son of a gun. Only on Sergei Dratchev Heavy Haul YouTube channel you can see the truth without decorations. So basically I did the strap like that. You see, like this strap over here? I did the one over there exactly, and I guess over here it sits on the board. But on this end, I guess the skids shifted or something. And the buckle came undone, and the belt and this tire got flat. I think it hit the I think it broke the valve. The good news is that it's very easy for me to lift the front axle. I have chains. I got chains on the front axle, right? So I put boards under the axles and drove it on. And now I can keep driving to the if I don't get killed, I can go to truck shop. Maybe the whole tire is bad, I don't know. I think the buckle broke. So either I need a new tire or I need just a valve. So the good news is that I don't need roadside assistance. Yeah, the front axle is in the air. And that's my new shiny axle. Check out the rubber is brand new. And you see, that's where that strap hit. I'm gonna pick up that strap and we're good.